And this team we had was just special, bro. And it was just like the resilience of this team, like so many ups, so many downs. And just to get to where we went, just to get to where we got, like I don't even think anyone in the world thought we were going to make it to the national championship game. And we just believed from the beginning that we were going to win it, even though we came up short. Just, after the game, it was tough. But yeah, man, just Storrs, Connecticut is really a special place.
Welcome to the Better Get Us Now podcast, episode dos. It's been a long time since I've seen my friends. Let me reintroduce to you, reintroduce to the world, reintroduce to UConn Nation, my good friends and co-host and fellow UConn Stooges, Decaf and Chip. You know me, Little Red, often imitated, never duplicated. Let's dive right into it. We want to cover on today's pod in no specific order. We're going to touch base on Malachi Smith's impact on the UConn during the postseason run. We'll also talk about the greatest player in UConn history. Just my personal take, a fan favorite, Alex Cariban. And we'll also touch base on the Kodiak, the teddy bear, the grizzly bear, whatever you want to call him, Terrace Reed. We will talk about Tarris Reed's legacy at UConn, a lasting impact, a record setter, and then Terrace is going to join the show. But first things first, gentlemen, home and away is breaking news. We're not necessarily breaking it to our audience. You already know the home and away between Duke and UConn announced just earlier today, I guess you could say, even though it's a week late. What are you going to do? Let's say the quiet part out loud. Thanksgiving
neutral site game in Vegas.
Oh, excuse me. It was rumored to be the home and away. Neutral site game is we travel fairly well, so see me in Vegas on Thanksgiving Eve.
Duke doesn't want that. Duke doesn't want home and away. We've been asking for 20 years, knocking on their door, and they've been scared. We beat them one time in DC, and we've obviously beat them before, and now they agree. I'm excited. I'm excited to play them. It's going to be a big TV rating game. Everyone's going to be home. Everyone's going to be at the bars watching the game. We don't know too much about their roster. Not too worried about their roster. But I do want to say one thing. It's for me, it sounds like you're going to be there, Red. I think it's a shitty location for us. A 1-game, 5-hour flight, Thanksgiving Eve. The East Coast loves holidays. Most of the East Coast loves holidays. And Thanksgiving is obviously a big one, especially with the traditions here. But I'm ready to kick their ass wherever, whenever, and I'm fired up that they're on the schedule for next year, regardless.
And don't assign me to that one, Chip. I want no part of spending Thanksgiving Day in a Vegas hot hotel room at the Luxor because it's the cheapest one on the Strip. I want no part of that game, man. For that to be around a holiday sucks.
Just making love to a turkey leg. As the resident fat kid, now all I can think about is Thanksgiving. So, are we Thanksgiving fans here? Any big Thanksgiving fans here?
Chip, are you?
Of course.
I'm anti-Thanksgiving. I'm anti-turkey.
Ooh.
I'm anti-turkey.
I don't want to turn off too much of our podcast from anyone who's pro Thanksgiving like we are.
Let's unpack that for 1 second. What doesn't do it for you?
I mean, if we're turning away listeners because I'm anti-Thanksgiving, I mean, we got some weak-minded listeners. I have more faith in us than that. But I just do turkey it's only eaten once a year for a reason. It fucking sucks.
Valid.
And go get a turkey leg at like an amusement park. That's so random.
Or a Renaissance fair. For the bring me your finest turkey leg.
Red, you can come to Italian Thanksgiving in New Haven in this area. We do manigots. We'll do shells. We'll do a little bit of everything. Obviously, turkey's on the menu, stuffing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But
what's a little bit? What's a little bit of this, a little bit of that? I have no idea. I'm not really culturally aware.
We'll do an antipasto. We'll do a manigot.
What's that? What is that? What is that? A Mardi Gras?
Antipasto just means before the meal.
No, I get that.
It's essentially
I get that.
An array of different meats.
I know.
And olives, smorgasbord.
I know what it is.
Mardi Gras?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
What's the Mardi Gras?
the Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is essentially a long ravioli. Kind of flatter, very good. Regat is great.
Okay.
We'll be good. Don't worry about it. Just come by.
Chip.
Regat.
Be polite and we'll feed you. That's all you need.
I'm a polite guy, but I will say for a small guy, Chip knows how to fucking eat, man. He knows a good spot.
That's right. New Haven does. So to get into Thanksgiving in Vegas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, Calf had something on the tip of his tongue.
I'm just saying. I just hope that your disdain for turkey can be equalized by my affinity for all things gravy, which I'm sure nobody here can imagine. I'm just now excited for the Thanksgiving Feast Week podcast from Chip's home, where we can see Little Red venture down the manigot and the antipast. And we'll watch you get that food baby laying on the couch, and we're going to give everybody what they need.
I'm not going to insult the Italians by not saying those words correctly. The antipas, the Mardi Gras, they're going to kick me the fuck out of there. But I will say
Mardi Gras.
I will say that Feast Week is one of the better college basketball weeks of the year.
Hell yeah!
To get it that early on, Duke wants a piece. They can come get their licks.
Where do you think? They said Thanksgiving Eve, right? So we're looking Wednesday.
Thanksgiving Eve in Vegas. It's going to be the biggest game of the night.
What a money grab! And I'm a Taiwan on, baby.
I think it's one that Hurley's going to have to swallow in terms of not getting mad at the fan base for not showing up. I don't know if we'll see. It's a fun weekend. Obviously, anytime in Vegas, it's a little bit warmer than the state of Connecticut is in late November. But it's not one I want to hear him complain about if we don't show up, because you couldn't have picked a tougher day to bring the families out.
Yeah, and I can't necessarily walk to Vegas on this one, boys. And I'm 0-1.
I was going to say road trip.
I'm 0-1 in walking the games. But let's talk about the out of conference schedule too while we have it. Rumored to be at Arizona, Kansas home game. Now whether to decide to run it back at the Hartford Civic Center, I doubt. But they're making those renovations for a reason. I want them on Gamble. And rumored Illinois away game in Chicago at the United Center. Is it still the United Center?
I believe so.
Ooh, all right. Red's right on something.
Unimportant.
Red's right on something. But either way, excited to get Duke. Excited to continue our dominance against Duke.
It's gonna that'll be a good litmus test too. Early in the season, and we rose to the occasions last year. No matter those outcomes, I think those games weren't close. Even if the score line was a little bit different. So says different.
I want to talk about the games, but I also want to mention that we are now, we've wanted this for a long time, and we've fought for it and we worked for it. Hurley spoke about it. Now we're at the top of the totem pole, and teams are coming to us. So there's a pre and post Braylon Mullen shot era. We've talked about that endlessly, and I'll say it a few times. But now we're the king of the hill, and I think Duke knows that. Kansas knows that. They just got Tyrone Stokes, the number one player, but he's not Darren Peterson. And look what happened last year. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to Vegas. We're ready to go to Arizona, Illinois, Kansas, whoever it is, wherever it is. I'm happy to be that program now that people are getting drunk and ready for Thanksgiving Eve and ready to watch the Huskies.
Stokes' release was so corny.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the future of
But
commitment.
didn't they land the two Kentucky kids too? Are those kids brothers, or are they just look alike? Didn't Kansas just land two kids from Kentucky? I thought I saw a whole story on that. I should have brought more juice to that one.
Should have brought more juice, man. Juice wasn't worth the squeeze there, Cap.
Swing and a miss.
But to be fair, Duke, a whole new roster that's still shaping up. Our roster's under construction. Got a lot of guys. A lot of lies. I'm full of stutters and mishaps. But we got a lot of guys coming and going. Some new faces. Some guys that are poised to be here. And we touched on in the first episode. A lot of guys that are poised to be here for 2 or maybe 3 years if we're lucky to help shift that culture over. But Calf, Chip, what are some of your favorite ads, and who are you honestly kind of disappointed that you don't get to watch this year, with the exception of Terrace Reed and Alex Caraban? Loaded question.
My biggest ad is the big boy.
Yeah.
we need to fill the center. We did. We got the guy that we 275-pound force, and I think they're going to help him grow. I mean, junior year Terrace was a force, but senior year Terrace was an absolute monster. And Najee is young. He's 19, 20 years old. He's ready to do pretty much anything. It seems like on the court. I've watched a couple of the Seton Hall games. He gave us the business a little bit, and he didn't look overmatched whatsoever in that game, even against what we know is America's most dominant big man. So that's the guy I'm most excited for. But Hulkamania and Co. We've got a little list now, and I'm excited for them all.
Yeah, we got Hulkamania and the Macho Man. But Calf, who's your go-tos here?
I mean, there's no hiding it. Colvin Landrew, real excited for this kid to step on campus, and that's taking nothing away from Junior County. Tab is one of the best two-way guards in the nation, so I'm excited for him as well. But two-way wing has room to grow. He's probably he's got that college-ready body, super physical on the perimeter, which we value so much. So late riser fits our narrative. It overlooked, and he did it against some of the bigger names out of that class. So Colvin Landrew, really excited for him to get here. And we talked on a bit about our last pod. A lot of those key pieces will have that maturity that that'll rub off on him. Coming into our program.
So on branding, you mentioned Colvin Landrew, and we got the Metro North Horn in the background. As you say, Colvin Landrew, and you put that out into the universe, birds start chirping, the sun starts shining. The skies open up and the
trains start blowing.
The heavens open up. It's the next UConn great player, and we're just blessed to continue to get these guys, man. And I will say another thing outside of the obvious with Landrew, elite body control, and that's something that you really like in those late game those late games need a bucket. Right, those critical possessions.
He gets downhill. 65% of his buckets are at the rim. The kid runs with purpose downhill. 50% from spot up, which will get him open. It'll be nice. Everybody's going to be chasing after Braylon. So if I can get Landrew sitting in the corner, ready to knock it down, I'm here for it. Yeah, man. I'm clearly my poker face is not great. I'm really excited for him.
And I like that Junior County is a little bit of a quieter guy coming in, watching his film. He's smooth, does everything well, exciting, player of the year in Utah, which is a state actually that has some talent as we've seen. But Junior County fired up. And then we got these a German and a Belgian guy. And I thought it was Riba's cousin, but it's not. Gilte is giving us some size and I'm fired up for the mad scientist and what Hurley's cooking up for us next year.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to be excited, and for fans to kind of take a step back, trust the process. No need to put your fantasy rosters out there. We're not in sixth grade anymore, building dream season teams and whatnot, putting it on paper. That throw it out the window. Let the professionals handle the lineup, roster reconstruction, the minutes. Let the boys handle that. Let the boys handle that.
Unless you have a couple million. If you've got a couple million, then you can make a couple calls. But we lost a lot too, boys. A lot of players that had eligibility. Obviously, some that didn't. And there's a lot of holes to fill.
I love the nicknames we got though. Can we pause and just kind of reflect on some of these nicknames and the opportunities that are ahead of us? I mean, Macho Man, even though his last name is Machevsky. Am I saying that right?
God bless you.
It's Mahovsky, but every UConn fan this year will say Machowski, given the large Polish population we have in the great state of Connecticut.
It's Machowski.
Getting back to the Mardi Gras, again, I'm terrible at pronouncing things, so why even say anything? It's just going to make me.
We got Nils. Nils. That's all we have to say.
Another Nils. Nails. He's supposed to be a good little player, man.
We got County. I mean, we got
Gilte as charged. I've been seeing a lot of that stuff coming out for T-shirts.
I'm a Junior Hartford County.
Oscar Gilte. Ooh, Junior Hartford County.
The opportunities are really endless, man. And you just, I mean, as a white guy in his middle 30s, I mean, you love a good nickname. The older you get, I love a good nickname.
Yeah. You got Jedi Ross, Solo Ball. Come on, man. We got that all. Nickname team.
Before we do a hard transition, guys, I'm just curious. Obviously, I see Decaf and Chip. Like, let's viewers know a little bit more about yourselves here. because Chip isn't on any socials. He's not very active on socials. He is on Instagram, and he was once very poppin' on Instagram. He's taking some years off. He's the Bane in the Shadows, the League of Shadows. Chip, did you have any other nicknames outside of Chip growing up?
I did. Some people actually knew me as Decaf when I was a young kid, but
Get the fuck out of here.
They said you need decaf coffee, so that was my nickname when I was 12.
Full circle.
No, I have two nicknames. Everyone calls me Pete or Chip. My nickname growing up was Homeboy Pete. So we can get into that in another podcast. But
Homeboy Pete.
Chip has been
that movie,
about
White
20
Boy
years
Pete.
old. Chip's about 20 years old. I used to be a writer. I was a sports writer, then overall writer. And one day we were drunk and buddies said Chip Peterson. And we went to the bars the next day and two girls liked my article and they said, "Are you Chip Peterson?" And I said, "No." And my friend said, "You fucking are." And
you
from
are
that
today.
day on, I was Chip Peterson.
You are today.
I love that.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
always been Calf Decaf, obviously, but growing up, my nickname was Ham for Hamilton Porter. Playing a ton of baseball, and everybody, ladies. I got a lot of shtick for so I was Ham for quite some time.
Is that your sister in left field?
Yeah,
waving at me.
Waving at me.
I love it, man. I went by my middle name growing up. I went by Nick for a majority of my life, up until my father.
Nick.
Up until my Nick. Yeah, I went by Nick. My middle name is Nicholas. Growing up, there's 3 other Henrys in the household, so I mean, you just call me by my middle name. They call me Quick Nick. That was probably the only thing that I was known for, was being an absolute pest on the basketball floor. Very, very annoying.
We love those.
And boy,
a defensive stopper, we've heard as well.
Defensive genius, if you will, honestly. And speaking of generational runs, like I had when I was a kid playing CYO and Greater Hartford CYO for St. Martha's under the legendary Fran Slattery, UConn was blessed to have Malachi Smith. Not to compare my game to Malachi, that's big shoes to fill, certainly, but Malachi really stepped up to the plate when this UConn team needed. He was the pest on the floor. Every loose ball, he seemed to be somewhere near, if not on. He stepped in when Silas was out, played some major minutes. I think Malachi deserves his flowers here, boys. You pick what flowers, but he deserves them.
All of them. I mean, in the absolute highest regard possible, he is a pest, and he comes on the court. Does a little bit of everything that the coaches need. At the beginning of the year, he shot free throws, and I was like, what the heck are we in for with this kid? And he made big shot after big shot the rest of the season, defended, full court. First game of the tournament, we don't have Silas the general, and Malachi came in smooth, and he's the type of player that Hurley looks for. And when we're talking about building that sandlot, building that algorithm of who we need next, he knew exactly who we wanted to get. Great family. And Malachi's brother was a big tournament player too, Scoochie, when he was at Dayton. And Malachi's got a little New York City in him, and he was an AAU teammate of our boy Skylar Bell.
The Gauchos.
Which you informed me of.
The Gauchos. I tried out for the Gauchos. I was cut as soon as I walked into the door. They told me to turn around and go home. So long ride home back to Long ride home back to Connecticut. Respectfully, Quick Nick or whatever pest, whatever they're calling you, turn around and go home. Was not good enough for the Gauchos, but Skylar Bell and Malachi were. Malachi definitely left a legacy, and he gave us everything he had. And he's really a quiet kid, and having that role, you transferred to Connecticut to play behind Silas. Maybe, not necessarily, probably the role that he was promised. We don't know. I can only wonder. Don't really care, because he just took it like the utmost professional, handled himself well, very, very quiet, lovable guy. Just love the impact that he left and the legacy he left behind with that tournament run. Can't speak enough about it.
What's your Malachi moment of the year? There's a couple that are really memorable for me, but what's the moment we're going to remember from Malachi at UConn?
Man, you're really just throwing me to the wolves there. I'm staring off into the.
I got two. I don't want to take anybody else's.
Take them both. That lead off and be the junior.
my favorite, selfishly, is 4 for 4 from behind the arc against Providence, as we shellacked them. And then that 4-point play off the backboard, I think that was at Illinois, at the Garden, and one.
Oh yeah.
Hold that. And then also the 64 minutes in 2 games. I mean, Furman's one thing, but then Ukla, he put up 32 minutes against UCLA, and you can't forget that guy. I'm a big fan of that man.
And we don't make the comeback against Duke without Malachi. End of the first half, he comes in just staunch, busting his ass, and hits a 3. I think it was our first 3 of the game. And then he has a little hesitation, goes baseline and lays it up to make it about 15 and a half. And he wasn't, no let up in him, absolute dog. And going into halftime, I saw a glimmer, which I didn't see before that. So Malachi, a lot of moments for us that at the beginning of the season, I was like, who is this guy? Is Millender even going to play over him? I didn't know much. So call me dumb, but Malachi will have a legacy with us. And he just signed with the Puerto Rican team this week, which will be fun to watch him.
Great weather.
Pro ball.
Just wish him continued success. And somebody else we've lost that obviously us covering, the great Alex Cariban, Sticks, number 11. Well, I hate to say Sticks. That's Stanley Robinson. But Alex Cariban leaving and what he meant to this team is a devastation. Doesn't do it justice. I cried on senior night. A lot of people did. Grown men moved to tears. That's how much Alex meant to them, not only personally, but from just if you're devoted and following this team game to game, week over week, doing the traveling that I do. Alex has always shown love. He's always shown a lot of respect. But what he meant to UConn is the culture shifter, the changer. So many words to describe him. Kath, how about you start us off with some Alex Cariban legacy talk? I mean, where do we begin, bro? Where do we begin?
I think old reliable. I think at the end of the day, what I'll remember most about him, very old school, right? I mean, he spent his career with us, and then he could not show up until it was time, and you needed that. Either that knight in shining armor, or you need that guy who doesn't say anything, and he would just bury a 3 and give everyone a not so subtle reminder of who that man was. So time and time again, he would come out of nowhere, and you'd blink, and he'd have 22 and 8, and you're like, well, was he on the court? Of course he was. Handling business.
The 23 title run, it seemed like he had a buzzer beater before every game going into like halftime. He was the guy that hit like a knockdown shot from the 45 or the corner or wherever he was.
Yeah.
Seemed to find the way to beat the buzzer. And
that man loves to shoot from distance. So I would love to have seen his numbers if he had stepped 6 inches ahead of majority of his threes. I would have loved to have seen those numbers. Because that man, hey brother,
the Comaniacs, brother. Sorry, I blacked out.
Caravan also he spans a little bit. It's weird with Caravan leaving. It's also the end of that era of the 23, 24, 25, and 26 guys. So the kind of new the new generation of craziness. And I wrote a little tangent to my buddies. I'll be candid. I never disliked Caravan. I've always liked him a lot, but I've never been his biggest fan. And I've never cheered for him harder than when he went coast to coast against Michigan and laid it up, just going through the trees. But my piece about the end of an era, but he came in before college basketball got crazy, before it was built on money and contracts. We saw a 4 seed win in 23 and it felt normal. If a 4 seed won now, it would be totally different. When Caravan came to campus, he had to tell Hurley that his mom just wanted to see the academic buildings, because it wasn't about NIL, it wasn't about money, it wasn't about fame and fortune and followers and stuff. So he gives us a little bit of that nostalgia. He showed up every freaking day. He's still in the gym every day after it.
And he was disappointed on that visit. His parents were disappointed. Like, imagine walking around UConn and be like, this doesn't stack up. Like, to me, it does. I mean,
Right.
Not necessarily looking at a school to check out the fucking library. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time there.
He's a New England kid, right?
Yeah, he's from
He's
Mass.
a New England kid?
He's a Mass kid, yeah.
He's from Mass, yeah.
What doesn't stack up? But it's not for everybody, right?
But
but I'm glad he made the choice.
We could spend an entire podcast. We could do multiple podcasts. We could do an Alex Cariban fucking mini-series if we wanted to. There's so many moments. We might. We're dropping a podcast in the offseason. There's a lot to talk about, boys. But
we're crazy, man.
Most importantly, you get to March or you get to Big East play, and Alex Cariban's on your team. The impact that does, and it's like a fuck around to find out for anybody of those opposing fans. Like I saw his viral clip of this UCLA fan, and he's live streaming himself watching the game. He had no idea who Alex Cariban was. Not only does he not know ball, he saw Cariban hit one from the logo in that game. Talk about logo shots.
Now he does.
Cariban put a fucking dagger in their hearts.
27.
The Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Cold. We could talk about where he ranks on Mount Rushmore. We could talk about what are your 5 greatest players. You've got 4 greatest players in UConn history. Where does Alex Cariban stand in the greats for you guys? Just give me your quickest, immediate thought of where he stacks up.
I mean, he's certainly in the conversation.
For me, he is number one. For me, he's number one. I'll put my take out there. I don't think
Cariban's in the greats.
But you have to think about it from a UConn perspective. Like he hasn't had the opportunity. He hasn't had the opportunity to go and play in the pros. Oh, it's Ray Allen. Okay, well, Ray Allen didn't really win. It didn't win at UConn. Hit the shot against Georgetown, Allen Iverson. Right, that was a great Big East moment. Didn't get it done in the tournament. All good.
Yeah,
all good. But just because that's kind of clouded by one of the best NBA runs that we'll ever see. Does that affect his
Cariban's? Yeah, it's tough. 1,800 plus points, 750 rebounds, 300 assists. Do everything you want. Coach is way better defender than when he came in. I mean, Cariban was absolutely. He could guard a 3 and a 4, and
was he second time all points? Second all time.
I think he's a little bit lower than that. Below Chris Smith, but. Where is he on Mount Rushmore? He's not on my Mount Rushmore. He's probably not on the second Mount Rushmore either.
What?
Or probably even my third. I love Cariban. Great player, unbelievable. We have an absolute monster roster of all-time great players, an absolute beast, and I will put it up against of anybody's. And these are guys that have had college.
Wow. Sorry, he's number 6. He's number 6 in scoring. Excuse me.
Didn't know that about you.
Number 6.
Didn't know that about you, Chip. Didn't know that about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not on your third. Absolutely not on your third.
I'd have to look at my third. I haven't looked at the third Mount Rushmore in a while. You got to average a little bit more than 15 points a game in a season to be on my top 2 or 3 Mount Rushmores. But absolute stud. I think we're going to miss him way more than the numbers that I'm putting out.
That's cold.
I'm getting red.
That's cold.
I'm getting red.
Yeah, that's like I'm going the opposite. That's a frosty corner. I'm next to this. This guy's cold over here. Woo! I'm getting the heat over here.
We're doing just fine.
Little Red's turning into medium red.
Yeah, if we're talking Cariban's legacy, I'm going to have all positives. It's a guy I'm going to miss. It's a guy who saw college basketball. He's one of the few people who saw basketball before NIL, lived during it, excelled during it, may have left last year. We gave him a little bit of a bag. He delivered tenfold. And he's a guy that, this is the one thing I want to mention, that Cariban's legacy will never reflect on the stat sheet. If Alex Cariban's not at UConn, Dan Hurley may be 25 feet up in a palm tree right now with somebody begging for him to come down after the Lakers' 29th loss of the season. A big reason that Hurley came back is Alex Cariban, and that piece of the legacy, maybe it does move him on to one of the several Mount Rushmores, but Cariban being that man that can bring Hurley back to life and someone he relies on, it's a big reason that he's not in Los Angeles. And if you read that book that Hurley came out with, he was a lot closer than we thought.
Well, we'll save that for another time. Calf, there's so much to digest there. I could go back and forth the Chip, but hey, I love the difference in opinions, dude. By all means, don't fucking agree with everything I say, because who the fuck am I? I just want. I can't. Perfect. Calf, who where does he stack up for you?
AK, it's kind of funny because at first I was listening to Chip's blasphemous rant, but then he kind of made some decent points. I'm just going to say this. What a luxury it is to be able to have this conversation. So he's at least a second Rushmore for me, I would say, if I have to commit to something. But Chip, you made a compelling argument.
It's all love in Husky Nation for me.
Of course it is. I just, not even 3. That is a cold take. So
we will do the Mount Rushmores here in upcoming pods, and
I would love to peel back that layer, but we have a wealth of riches, so I can completely understand what you're saying. But to Red's point, Jesus will always be, number one for me. And I think I take into consideration the brand that he left with and had such an amazing professional career. So
I don't know what much more a player can do.
Sure.
Let alone the averages from the game. What else do you want a guy to do during his tenure at UConn and doing everything the right way? But hey, my opinion is I'm not God here, so I don't get to pick and choose. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I can't stand other people that devalue other people's opinions. You are entitled to that, and that's like Decaf said. It's the riches of this program, the riches of us being a fan. We're so lucky, and we were really lucky to watch another player, and that we're going to really miss this guy truly and deeply on so many different levels. A lovable guy, a dominant guy, a fierce guy, the man in the middle, Terrace Reed. Boys, I think this is another one to have him and Cariban leaving in the same time. And again, you don't have Solo coming back next year. 3 brutal, gut-wrenching hits. Where Terrace's generational run in March Madness was everything and more that we had kind of expected when he transferred over. Chip, what are your thoughts on T. Reed?
I think Terrace is. I think he was the most important guy in the team this year in the second half of the season, and an absolute monster. The efficient scoring. I mean, he shot 67% his junior year coming off the bench. 24, 18, 6, big numbers. I don't know if. I think what we remember him for, and what I'm going to say is, I don't know if we've ever seen a better tournament run outside of Kemba. 31-27. We know all the numbers. We know all the games. But every team, every game we played, everybody was looking at Terrace. We played Duke in the Elite Eight, National Player of the Year, almost unanimous in Boozer. Who was the best player on the court? Who was the guy that you were looking to the whole game? Every time Terrace got the ball, it didn't matter. They had 3 defenders on him. Terrace changed the landscape of the program, and he kept us afloat this year as the preeminent program. Legend.
Legend is certainly it.
Wish we had him for longer.
Yeah, selfishly, you definitely wish you had him, for longer. But I always think about the progression from his junior year to his senior year and how happy I was with him, obviously during his junior campaign. But, just that footwork that he was able to study all that film from little Nicky Red back in the day, CYO, all that amazing footwork. He was able to,
and
you're welcome.
And Terrace has just joined the chat, so without further ado, let's cut Calf off. Calf's opinions no longer matter. We got the big man.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
We got the big man. We're going to add him to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Tarris Reed. And Terrace, before I put you on, we have a beautiful intro we've been working on. We're trying to figure out how the hell are we going to segue from 3 guys just rambling incoherently. And Terrace, don't worry, man. I got you muted right now. So let me just get through this. It's long-winded. Bear with me. It's a beautiful intro. Hailing from St. Louis, Missouri. He balled out at Chaminade Prep. Junior year, he dropped 22 points, 14 on the boards, and 2.5 blocks per night. He took home the Greater St. Louis Player of the Year. His senior year, he transferred to the Link Academy, a major 4-star recruit committing to Michigan before what might have been the best single decision he's ever made most impactful decision he's ever made in his life. A little bit biased, transferring to the University of Connecticut in 2024, following a lovely championship parade, by the way. In his first year being a Husky, he earned Big East 6th Man of the Year, including a monstrous 24-point, 18 rebound, 6-block game, off the bench, mind you. The only player in the entire country with those numbers in a game, and he did it off the bench. Then came his senior year, first team All Big East, East Regional most outstanding player, and let's be honest, the best player in the entire March Madness NCAA tournament this year. He averaged a mere 19.5 points, 13.2 rebounds across 6 tournament games. He gave us the most unforgettable moment in Husky and college basketball history. 31 points, 27 rebounds against Furman. If you can name the mascot for Furman, kudos to you, because I certainly can't. That performance single-handedly made him the first player since Bill Walton in 1972 to put up 30-plus points and 20-plus rebounds while shooting 80% from the field in the NCAA tournament game. And then over the first 2 games of the tournament, he joined another elite list, joining Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, and Bill Walton again as one of the only players in history of college basketball to have a 40-plus point and 40-plus point rebound over that stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, a man amongst boys, America's most dominant big man, our very first interview on the podcast. We tried to do you justice, big man. Terrace Reed.
Hey,
my man.
Let's go. The
My
big
man.
Amazing. That was great. I love that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I did.
All the way from yeah, that was crazy.
I did not put that together. That was Chip. But yeah, Terrace, man, we big day for the brand. Big day for Better Get Us Now. We're happy to have you on, and I know Calf is going to roast me here shortly, so I'll let Calf get into it.
Terrace, Decaf here. Just level with me right out of the gate off the rip. The people want to know, is there anyone sweatier in your DMs than Little Red? Is anyone other than Little Red sweatier than your DMs?
Nah,
People want to know.
He's probably the top one, not gonna lie.
Let's go. Hey,
right
yeah.
Look how ready he got when he said that.
Let's go.
I'm always red. But speaking of sweaty, Terrace, we had this weird little thing going on this season. You would always have these monstrous games, whether it was Georgetown or Furman or whatever. Whenever we kind of like linked before you went into the tunnel, we would grab each other by the head. I don't know necessarily what started that, man, but
I forgot. It was some game. I don't know. I remember running off after the game. I think it was I forgot what game it was. I gotta find it. And I just saw you just screaming on the top of your lungs, just with the energy. I was like,
"Let me put my face on. Let me put my face on that man's face. Let's go. That's love."
So Hurley stole y'all's.
I love that.
Hurley stole it from you guys.
Yeah, we think Hurley stole the headbutt from you guys. We think that might be a conspiracy theory. What do you think?
He saw me do it, so he saw me do it, so he wanted to steal it. I respect that. Yeah. Terrace, we just love UConn basketball so much, and I try to give you everything that I had in the fans in the stands as a fan.
Oh, you walked to Gimple, bro.
Yeah, you guys lost. You guys lost though, man. That was crazy.
Yeah.
No, Terrace, we spent some time, and I know Chip is going to ask you a couple questions here, but we also spent some time in the ice bath, and I hit the hot tub with Rich Kelly, which was great. But you pulled up a chair, and I want everybody listening to this. You pulled up a chair and you sat next to me in that ice bath, and we just talked about life for a little bit, man. And that hit on another level. And I just want to say how much I respect you for taking that time out to just not even talk basketball, really, man. Just talk life. That was a beautiful moment. Yeah. And with that, I'll segue over to Chip for the hard hitting journalist questions that he's got for us.
Yeah, we got America's most dominant big man, but also America's most humble big man, which we love. Let's go back a little bit, Terrace. 2024. Spring, you came for the parade, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring us back to that. What was that experience like? What was your first impression of Hurley when they started recruiting you, and what'd you think of the crew?
I mean, shoot, my first impression of Hurley when they started recruiting me, I remember I was actually in Chrysler Center at Michigan. It was after a workout. It was like 8:00. I forgot. I think they played Northwestern. They played somebody either the day before they were going to play Northwestern or whatever. And he wanted to call me and my parents. And they told Coach the story. I think they told Kamani the story like a couple weeks ago after the season. And we're calling Coach, and Coach is like cursing up a storm. He's like, "Do you want to ever be the greatest man?
No.
You should be dominant." And my parents on the phone like, "Yo, this dude is he crazy?" And like whole time I'm on the phone, I'm like, "Yo, this is a guy I want to play for." You know, like just that energy on the first call, like being as real and authentic, like that would turn a lot of parents off. But my parents are like, and I was just like, man, I want to play for a guy like that. And yeah, going on the whatchamacallit, the parade, man, that was special. I mean, I was like, yo, just to see the whole city of Hartford, see people's stores, just Connecticut, just all there together supporting the national championship. And not gonna lie, like I didn't know how really hard it was until like you're really trying to go for it for my senior year, you know, like in the tournament, like it's 6 games and each games get harder. So I respect it a lot more, even though we came up short, man. I feel like this team we had was just special, bro. And it was just like the resilience of this team, like so many ups, so many downs. And just to get to where we went, just to get to where we got, like I don't even think anyone in the world thought we were going to make it to the national championship game. And we just believed from the beginning that we were going to win it, even though we came up short. Just, yeah, after the game, it was tough. But yeah, man, just Storrs, Connecticut is really a special place. I mean, leaving now is like everything coming full circle. Like, I'm talking to you guys right now. You know, like I'm done. Like this is over with. Like
You're not done yet, bud. You're just getting started. So
yeah.
you know you'll come home just like all those big stars that come through. So we'll be happy to get you home.
You reached you talked about it, but you reached a level this year. Obviously, junior year you were a monster coming off the bench, but you reached an entirely new level this year. I call you Thanos. We call you Tournament Terrace. Thanos. So. Did you feel a switch? Was there, because Hurley's looking at you like a crazy man after every game, and you guys have post game interviews.
Yeah.
Did you feel a switch this year at some point where you were like, all right, now I'm really going to turn it on. All right, now I really got to do it. Maybe when Silas went out, but was there a time where you felt, all right, go into Thanos mode, Terrace, and you did?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was a couple. Honestly, you felt like the whole. After the postseason, like when we're not after the postseason, after the regular season, and we're getting like to postseason to March, like the whole energy of like the gym felt different. I remember like the week leading up to Furman, bro, Coach Luke was coaching me so hard, man. It was like, and it's like in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, we're playing Furman, we're gonna beat these dudes, blah blah. But they had a really good big Cooper Bowser. He was like 37% on like tough deep jump hooks, and Coach Murray like ripped me that week, and I remember I was so mad. I was so angry. I was like, why I was just playing good. I'm feeling the momentum. But looking back, I needed it. I mean, he kept me on my P's and Q's hard. And I feel like that really set the tone for all of March. Like going literally to every game, like, yo, this could be my last. And yeah, I mean, Coach Hurley literally told me before every game, like, yo, use everything I taught you to this point and go out there and dominate. And literally it was just going out free and, playing throughout the guys and just playing hard, like it's literally my days were literally numbered and just going out there playing hard, having fun doing it.
Yeah, I mean you're back against the wall, but I mean the footwork package was next level.
Woo!
Like, my man,
big man.
He was watching some Olajuwon. It was inspiring play to say the least. But I can't imagine. I mean, the fans really need to just kind of step back and relate to that, like what you said. Like I felt my days were numbered. I mean, I can't imagine having that pressure, but also the calmness. It felt like you just went out there. You guys were so comfortable. Maybe that's just how it presented to me, but I mean, to hear even mere conversations saying it was upset alert in the first round against Furman, and then you go put out some, they're going to mention you in the same label in the same sentence as Bill Walton.
Yeah,
one of the best big men of all time, Tim Duncan, Elijah,
the Dream,
and they're going to mention Tarris Reed, and we're not going to let them ever forget that. I mean,
nah.
And you're so damn humble, man.
Terrace, Go for it, Jeff.
Oh, all right. I appreciate you. Terrace, selfishly, I want to get this one in. When you're staring at that ball and there's 80,000 people around and it's just you and the bucket and it's time to take it to the house. Like, I don't even know if you can put that into words, but like, what is that like? I'm a bigger guy. I'm not you big, but like, I love seeing big men get there. Woo! Oh, I loved it, man.
I'm not gonna lie, that Final Four experience was something different. Yeah. I mean, the energy, the vibe of the team, just walking into the arena. It was like I felt like a little kid in a candy store. Like I'm there, I'm smiling, I'm looking around.
I'm getting goosebumps listening to you, man. It's like, amazing.
I'm sitting down, I'm laying down like the other day. I'm watching videos. I'm like, man, like I wish I could just be back there again because like I'll never be back. Playing in front of 80,000 in a football stadium. And yeah, that energy and that vibe was different. But I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I was about to throw up. The Illinois game, like I'm on the court, like right before we walk on the court, like we always meet and huddle with coach, and like my stomach, like, I'd never been so nervous before a game in my life. It was that Illinois game, but yeah, Michigan game I wasn't as nervous in the championship game because you played, but that Illinois game I was, and I thought I was about to throw up like on the court, and I was so nervous.
Well, you beat him in front of 80,000, and you beat him at Madison Square Garden, so that's quite a duo. Take us. We talked the other day, Terrace, in private, and they said, "What was your favorite moment of this tournament run?" And there's a lot of them, but for me, it was you in the Michigan State game. 40 seconds, minute to go in the game.
Yeah,
and it was you at the line, and you're not Reggie Miller at the line, but in this tournament, you basically were. Tell us about how you locked in for those.
We're up 2, yeah. I remember walking up to the line. I was like, okay. I think we up 2, make 1, they got force a 3, make 2 to ice the game. I was like, yeah. And I was like, like literally, if I shoot, like the mindset was like, I have a mental coach, shout out my mental coach. And it was like,
I love that.
If I shoot the same time, every time, like follow through, I follow my routine, I live with the result. So I was like, I'm gonna just go up there, shoot these 2, live with the result.
Shout out to having a mental coach too, man. I mean, a lot of fans need to take a step back, and I'm always trying to be the positive one, but take a step back and think about the pressures that it is, like not just throwing on the UConn jersey and this and that, but it's real. It's real. So a lot of respect to you for that.
Yeah, mental health. We've seen you super important.
We've seen you working on the shot, and it looks good. And I was with my lady that night watching the game, and you ran back up the court. She said, "Wow, he's such a good shooter." And I said, "That's right.
That's right. He is. That's right."
What do you call it? My pops came up quite a few times during the season, and Coach Luke Murray, he'll watch us like shoot free throws like every day, every night in the camp by myself. And I remember my dad was like, "Yo, Coach, he's gonna shoot 80% in the tournament." When I shoot like 78, 79, like I knew it because I knew it was just all mental, man. Like at the free throw line, it's so mental. Like I'm just shooting, trying to make, and just shooting, like following my routine. And I was like 58 during the regular season. It was awful.
You're also playing 30 minutes a game, guys hanging all over you. I mean, the focal point of the offense.
The Big East is gritty.
Yeah,
gritty. It's really a tough conference. I feel like it's so slept on too.
And speaking of the Big East, I mean, we just got. I mean, maybe you were a part of this process, maybe you weren't. Just looking to educate ourselves on it. Did you have any involvement on getting the big man over from Seton Hall?
Hines?
Yeah. Did you have any involvement? What was your input?
That was actually the day I was supposed to leave for Jersey, and I heard he was here, so I pulled up to the gym. I want to check him out. I want to say what's up. Like, I'm out. I think he hit the portal. We need a big, so let me just chop it up with the big fella. And I know I like his game. I mean, I was watching some film on it before when I heard he was coming. He got some slept on footwork. And I was like, he's big. He got some touch. He's a really good rim protector. I was like, he'll fit in well at the system, especially like when you buy in. Like he'll be a good piece. So just chop it up with him. Told him like, you need anything? Hit me up, man. Like you saw what happened to me, man. I struggled my junior year, came out here senior year victorious. I was like, you're in a better path. You here early. You're here your sophomore year, and that's a big jump. So
did you get the mental coach? Have you had him for a few years, or was that something that you kind of?
I got him at UConn while here. Like this place is tough, man. Like it'll literally make or break you, and you got to be so strong, like mentally, because it's not even the game. It's more like practice, like being able to show up every day. And like one thing like I learned, like Coach taught me, is like it's not what you did yesterday. It's not what you did right now. It's like how you gonna do it every single day. Like you got to really be able to really do it again, and that's what greatness is. And I feel like having that same approach every day, like I'm gonna do this X Y Z. I mean, sky's the limit. So
I love that, man. I love that. There's a lot of go ahead, Kev.
I'll just say kudos to you for the mental health. I know, Rad, I know that's super important to you. And at the end of the day, there's no louder voice than the one in your head. So
yeah, man.
Well, seriously, if nobody tells you enough, man, that's amazing.
Well, on a lighter note, there was one more question I know Chip wanted to get into, so I'll pass it off to him. Then we just got a quick game to play. Some quick 10-question game, maybe. It'll be quick one.
Yeah, some quick hitters.
But we value your time, so I'm gonna let Chip get into this one.
The most memorable game of the year, obviously, is the Duke game for the Huskies. You've got a lot of memorable ones too, but at the end of the game, I believe you're on the bench, and with 10 seconds to go, get us in that huddle. Get us with Luke, with Danny. Yeah. What was Coach saying, and what were you thinking as the play unfolds?
So I got to take it back to halftime. Well, we're down 15-19, down double digit at halftime. We're all in the huddle, and shout out to Malachi. I feel like Malachi, he was the first one. Yeah, he was the first one talking like, yo, we playing soft right now. These dudes and all that, blah, blah. We just got locking on defensive end. Like he's over there chopping. He's talking, and you can see like the vibe in the room start to okay, like the belief starts to really, really rise. I feel like we knew what it was. Like we weren't knocking down shots. We weren't stopping on defense, but as soon as some shots started knocking in, we started locking on that defense, rebounding. They were going to give us a shot. And it was going to be a small window, but if we took advantage of that window, we were going to win the game. So when it comes down, I think AK he missed the three before it came down. I set the pin down, hit the three, brings the game close. And then, when Braylon Mullins hit the shot, I was on the bench. Like I think, who was Mo or Barry was in front of me. I didn't even see the shot go in, bro. When that shot went in and I heard the fans react, it's a feeling like no other. Because it's like everyone in the world, it felt like literally the whole gym, everyone doubted us. Everyone's like, yo, y'all not winning this game. Duke, the number one team, blah, blah, blah. We came back and won on a buzzer beater. And it was like, more importantly, like, I was thinking about it a couple days after. It's like, Braylon is like cemented in history. Like, this is like what you talk about at the lunch tables in middle school. Like, oh, did y'all see the shot Braylon hit yesterday? Like, that's like you arguing the top 5 buzzer beater of all time. I was like, man, that was special right there.
Well, don't cut yourself short, Terrace, because we're going to be talking about that Furman game in the same conversation. There's absolutely no doubt.
And that Duke game, 26-9, Naismith Player of the Year on the other team. And I was watching with family who doesn't watch a lot of college basketball, and I said, he's the Naismith Player of the Year, but AP Player of the Year, and they pointed at Tarris Reed, and they said, well, he's the best player on the court. So
Hell yeah.
We all saw that.
Hell yeah. What was it like in the huddle? Like, what are some things that like Dan will say down in crunch time to you guys? Obviously, we see him mic'd up. It seemed like that game he was really avoiding the sideline reporters. She was begging for an interview, and he wasn't giving her anything.
Because we knew it was in house. This is like the circle. Like whatever he said to people outside, they wouldn't believe it. But I feel like it was more in house. I mean, Coach was just like giving us life, giving us energy, like believe. I kid you not, we were down like 12 with 10 minutes left, and Coach Hurley's like telling us like, "Yo, we still have a shot. You all feel the energy in the arena starting to shift." And we're all looking at each other, nodding like, "Oh yeah, we're good." And we're like down 12 to the number one team in the country with like 8 minutes left, and we still believe. And I feel like a big credit was we had so many games like that earlier in the season. Them ugly, gritty Big East games where we're supposed to lose, we're down, and we somehow figure it out, come out and win. Like the Providence game.
Pray for Providence, yeah.
We had so many games like that where we just gutted it out in the end. So we knew what we had to do.
Yeah, man.
In the end of the game, and so we just started with Cap, man. Cap got some type of aura, some type of. He just radiates winning around him, man. Like whoever's around him is gonna win. So shout out, hey man.
I love that, man. I love that. Well, Terrace, we really, really value your time. I know I gave you a timeline. We're gonna work within that. I do have a game here that we wanted to play. I'm gonna give you 10 names off of this year's roster, coaches and players alike. You give me the first word that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
First word that comes into your head when I mention these guys.
Yep.
Kamani.
Tough.
Rich Kelly.
Low.
Mamadou.
Leader.
Braylon.
Well.
The sound effect.
I say he a winner. Winner.
How about Millender?
Wait, clutch. I gotta do clutch for Braylon. Clutch.
Who would have thought? Yeah, Alec. Rondo.
Rondo. Funny.
What about yourself? How would you describe yourself? One word.
Humble.
Silas.
Dog.
Dog. I love that. What about coach?
Poised, passionate, leader, confident.
I'm going to hit you with one more. Dwayne.
Dwayne Caroma.
The coronavirus.
Slick. He's slick.
He's slick.
Wayne's a cool cat. Wayne is a cool cat, man.
He's so ripped, man. Nobody else is as ripped as him, man. Jack.
Shredded. Absolutely shredded.
Jack. All right, I lied, man. I'm going to do one more name.
Bet.
One more name. Jaden Ross.
The Jedi.
I call him Juice.
Juice. He's got the juice.
He comes to the game, he got the juice. He's coming to the game, he gets a dunk, steal. He won us that UCLA game. He won us that UCLA game with his energy in that second half. In the first half.
He had some big shots for us. Didn't he have, what, 9 or 10 points in the first half, something like that?
Yeah.
He had some big shots. I always seem to whenever I'm doing some like TikToks, some corny TikToks or Instagram shit, I always seem to capture a Ross dunk. Like, I feel like we are undefeated when Jaden Ross
gets the juice, man.
He got the juice.
Yeah, he got bunnies too, man. That kid can jump out the gym.
All right, man. Well, hey, Terrace, this has been a blast, man. This is a hell of a way to kick off our podcast. We appreciate it.
Thank you, T.
It means a lot. Terrace, we close out every episode with saying, this is Little Red. You better get us now. We want you to do the sign off. Can you say, this is Tarris Reed. This is the Better Get Us Now podcast.
It's T. Reed, a.k.a. the Kodiak. It's the Better Get Us Now podcast. You know what it is. UConn on top. UConn #1, the basketball capital of the world, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
People better get us now. That's all. You better get us now. You better get us now. Because it's coming.